I want to do this video for my viewers, people that have frequented my channel, whether you've been on my channel for a while or you're recently here. I just wanted to do a little talking real quick for perspective. Hopefully you watch this video if you've had any question about my demeanor or why I'm on YouTube. Real quickly, God called me to do YouTube. It was never really something I desired to do. I believe more in writing so that the person invests time and energy. Usually when someone does a video, you get a lot of information quickly and easily. And I've always believed that if you care enough, you'll search and you'll do the hard work so that God can really minister to you. And I feel like that's done better through writing than through videos. But God knows more than I do. And so when He led me to do videos, I submitted and I did it. I also had a bunch of interpretations, notes for interpretations. If you've been to my website, you see that I've written 42 Bible interpretations. I actually had a lot of notes for interpretations. But God told me to stop exactly at 42. And I even prayed about it, and I said, God, I still got notes on like 15 interpretations. And God said, don't worry about it. So I didn't. And it was only years later, I think, around 4 years later, maybe 3.5 years later, that God called me to do YouTube. And sure enough, all of those interpretations that I had notes for, they became videos rather than interpretations on my website. So God had a plan, and He still has a plan, and I submit to His plan. I do these videos as faithfully as I know how. I'm not perfect, but what I want to say right now is I do these videos unapologetically. I do what God tells me to do, and I don't answer to man. I'm accountable for my faith in God, and I will always listen to another human being if that person comes humbly. I don't care if they're in the church or not. I'll always listen to another human being as long as they come humbly. But I'm accountable to God. I don't have a congregation. I don't have people paying me tithes. I'm not running a church. I'm not running a business. I'm not running an organization. I do ask for donations, but that's few and far between. The main point is I'm accountable to God, and I rely on God. I don't rely on man. Okay? And I'm accountable for my walk with Christ, and the videos I put out, that's between me and the Lord. If you want to watch, you can watch, and if you receive edification, then that's very good. But if you don't, you're welcome to leave. And I'm not going to change what I do or how I do it, because God is up here and everything else doesn't exist. I'm not accountable to people. I'm not accountable to man. I'm accountable to Christ Church when it's fully operational, which is, it's not. When Christ Church gets right, I have no problem putting myself under other brethren. I have no problem putting myself in a place to be teachable and to grow. But that's when Christ Church is operational. It's not. Christ Church is fragmented. And I believe right now every minister that Christ has called is doing the best job they can do, whether they're on a website, on the internet, whether they're ministering on the street, or whether they've able to come up with enough money to open a church somewhere and they're just doing God's work. We are commissioned with doing Christ's work at this time. Like I said, I do my videos and I do them unapologetically. If you get good information or teaching or instruction or edification from my videos or exhortation, then good. But if not, then my videos probably are not for you. And I say this because I have to stay focused, and I want the people who watch my videos, I want them to know what perspective I'm coming from. I have to obey God, not man. End of story. And I run my channel the way a pastor would run his church. If someone comes in off the street and walks into a pastor's church and starts disagreeing with the pastor, disagreeing with the doctrine, disagreeing with everything the pastor says, that pastor is going to say, you know what, this church is not a fit for you. Please leave. And if the person says, no, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to indoctrinate your congregation in what I believe, even though it's completely opposite what you believe, that pastor is going to kick you out. And guess what? He's blameless. He's blameless. That church is not for you. You need to go to where you fit. End of story. And if my channel is a fit for you, good. And if it's not, bye. I'm not going to allow people to leave comments and leave suggestions and leave noise and arguments in the comment section that completely deter from what God has called me to do. I see it the same way as someone walking in a church and completely disrupting the pastor, or walking in a church and completely disagreeing with the pastor and everything he's preaching. You're going to be shown the door, and there's not going to be anybody to help you. You're going to be shown the door, and you're going to leave in shame. And people who come to my channel and leave comments of disagreement and of contention and all kind of nonsense, you're going to be shown the door. If my videos help you, good. If they don't, go find videos that do. And you can disagree with me. That's between you and you. But I'm not going to be bothered by it. And if you think my doctrine is wrong, then believe it's wrong. Guess what? I believe your doctrine is wrong. Because if you're disagreeing with me, I believe you're wrong. So you go somewhere else. It's that simple. I do the work that God has called me to do. God has not done a work through me so everybody will agree with me. I assure you of that. I am to do the work He's called me to do. And like I said, if my channel is a blessing to you, good. If it's not, go to where a minister is able to bless you and minister to you. But my channel is not for people to challenge me and say, you're preaching a false doctrine, I'm going to challenge you, I'm going to do this. No, you're not. I have a solid relationship with God. I know exactly what God has called me to do. Man, at this point, means basically nothing to me in terms of their opinion. It means nothing to me because I know the marching orders God has given me. Like I said, when Christ's church is truly aligned, when it's the body it's supposed to be, I have no problem submitting myself under other Christians, other leaders, or other teachers, or other prophets or apostles that God has raised up. No problem whatsoever. It's not happening right now. So I'm doing what God has called me to do. I have my marching orders, and I'm going to be faithful to do it, and no man's going to deter me. It doesn't make any difference. I'll delete your comments. I'll block you outright. I can care less. You can go cause problems somewhere else. And if you really care enough, go start your own YouTube channel and make your own videos. So that's what I'm saying to you. For the rest of you that have been faithful to watch my channel, I thank you just for the support. Some of you have donated. I thank you for that as well. And what I want to say to you is, Christ does guide me. I am not 100% accurate. I'm not 100% correct. I don't care to be. Okay? But I'm faithful to do His work, and I know God uses me, and I know God uses my channel. Okay? So if you support me, and I'm not talking about donations. I'm talking about if you watch the channel, then watch the channel. If you disagree with my personality, disagree with it. If you disagree with how intense I am, disagree with it. If you disagree with how I come across, disagree with it. But at the end of the day, there's tough love and there's love. And sometimes God is really trying to get through. And so you have to take anything delicate in you and you got to put it in another place. Because none of that is going to last. It is time for Christ Church to eventually become edified and become a body. And I am one of the instruments to bring that to pass. And God is going to use my channel now and in the future to bring that about. So I only ask that you humble yourself and you remember what is important. And it is the teachings and it is the edification that comes through the true preaching of Christ's Word. And I don't care if I'm an elephant, or if I'm a black man, or if I'm an Asian, or if I'm a woman. Listen to the words. That's all that matters.